Alright, hey, I'm Josh. We're going to be going over a more in-depth tutorial on JUnit and how to test using JUnit. More specifically, we're going to talk about how to test for sortedness with JUnit. So as you can see here, I have a cow data structure. It is comparable. That means that you can sort it using collections.sort, which we will use later. And let's see it as a pretty basic constructor. A simple say hello method and then the compare to. So now we're going to go look over here at the test file, which I showed you how to make in the last video. So this is the basic beginning, right? So here you can see that I have cow A, B, C, unsorted list, sorted list. And then in my setup here, I simply initialize 3 cows, and now I'm going to have a sorted list and an unsorted list. Now I can see here that if they're in ABC order, that means they're sorted. So what I'm going to do is simply I'm going to do sorted list add A. Then I can do that for B and C in that order, so I know that it's sorted. Alrighty, and again, if you're doing a lot of test cases, you're going to want to automate this, but I'm just doing 3 so we can get the general idea of how to test for sortedness. Now I'm going to add my unsorted list. Alright, and so the way we're going to be testing sortedness today is we're going to talk about some more of the very interesting JUnit functions, such as Assert Equals and some other functions that you can use that are pretty cool. So if we look over here in my cow data structure again, you can see that say hello returns a string value after doing print line. This is a good practice if you're doing JUnit, because in addition to printing out, saying hello as the cow is supposed to do, it also returns a value that we can test. And it returns here, you can see the exact same value as it prints out, which is a very good practice for when you're trying to test your Java programs using JUnit. So now I'm going to go back over here to my cow tests, and I'm going to write my, I actually already have my methods written over here just so I don't mess up the video. So we got, okay, so we have, it's a test method, so we use the test annotation. I'm going to walk you through the code here. So we got public void test hello, and this is a method where you're saying essentially if c.sayHello, in this case C is Ryan, it should be hello my name is Ryan with 2 exclamation marks as we had over in the cow data structure. And if those 2 things are not true, or they're not equal, as this assert equals statement tells you, then this test case will fail. So now it's the cool part is we're going to talk about how to check to see if an Arraylist is sorted, or if your sort method is correct. And here you can see I've implemented the test sort method. And so now I'm going to run the test sort method. We're going to run this and see what happened to my program. Okay, so as we can see, both my test cases failed for both the test say hello method and the test sort. And here I just used the collections.sort and did assert equals, so we'll see what happened. Now when I come down here, this is the failure trace, and you can see it says expected hello my name is Dairy, and actual is hello my name is Ryan. Okay, so these are kind of interchangeable. It doesn't really matter what position you have them in. They're supposed to be equal. Equality is reflexive. It doesn't matter the order. So what I'm going to do to fix that is, Dairy is the breed and Ryan's the name. So I'm guessing I'm going to go look back in here in my cow data structure. And sure enough, I was accidentally printing out the breed instead of the name. So I can fix that very quickly. And then exit out, run a confirmation test to make sure that that bug was fixed. And let's see what happened now. Okay. I'm bad at grammar. There's a missing comma. But see, even small things like that, JUnit is very good for fixing. So now that's fixed for sure. And I'm going to go on to the next test case. We're going to look here at what happened to my... okay, we're going to look at what happened. We're going to look at what happened in the test sort. You have to actually click on the right test case. Then you click on the failure trace. So I'm going to go down here and I'm going to look at Assertion Error and see what happened. And you see this, the reason that this did not work is because it's the kind of the naive way of doing it. You would think that because they have the same elements, they're the same, but it's a caveat of the Java language that what's happening is it's saying, are these part of the same register? And you know, are the literally the exact same thing? And sorted list is not the same thing as unsorted list. So we can't simply use the assert equals method to check it. Now the way we can overcome this caveat is by realizing that the assert equals statement here draws its equalsness from the, it decides whether or not the two objects are equal based on their dot equals method, which is in the object class, which is of course the superclass of all Java objects. And so now we're going to look over here at our cow.java where I have overwritten the equals method. And so here two cows are now equal if their weight is the same and their names are the same and their breeds are the same. And so now we're going to go back to our cow.test.java test case and we are going to run the test case and see what happens. And sure enough, everything works. We're good to go. It's important to remember that the assert equals statement, it's very useful. Pretty much you can get away with using this for just about everything. Sometimes you have to override the dot equals method though, as we did previously in the cow data structure. Yeah, and also you can kind of hack together things like this. Normally this would be a void method where it would just print out hello. However, because you use this practice here of making it a string, you're able to test it more easily using JUnit, which is a very important thing to know.